let's jump right in. I think some people would be confused between the edge computing and a content distribution network, or even simply having regional data centers for different geographic markets. So, can you please tell us what edge computing is and where exactly is the edge of the internet?
Wow. I always like to say that the edge of the internet is right next to the restaurant at the end of the universe. So Hitchhiker's Guide, right? It's out there, right? It really is. But that's it's somewhat accurate. I mean, the edge is, I mean, it's in my closet on the other side of this wall. It could be on my phone, could be on the devices that are operating my fish tank right now. More likely, it's going to be in a retail shopping center or under a cell tower, but it's going to be closer than a regional data center. And that's really what our options are right now, right? Is regional data centers. There are cloud data centers all over in many regions that help us distribute globally. And right then you have your centralized data center. So the edge is really pushing out to where the users of applications might be, and whether that user is a device or a human being or on a manufacturing floor is another interesting discussion. The difference between it's not between a CDN and edge is really CDN has a focus, and it evolved out of a need to deliver content. That's why it's called a content distribution network. Back when applications were a lot of JPEGs and some text, and boom, that was it, right? Blink tag was your most animated thing you could do, and horrible thing you could do, by the way.
And overused as well.
Yeah, no, blink. And that started to evolve around 10 or so years ago, as people realized there was both the capability and the need for certain types of application services spread more out across the internet. That's why we see a lot of security like DDoS and DNS protection, right, out at where the CDNs used to be, because it was a natural extension of what they did. But what we're moving to at the edge is about application and data distribution. And that requires kind of a different model. And it includes endpoints like devices and things that have never been included in the solution before. So it's really changing how we deliver applications and content and data.
That makes it much clearer. And you mentioned a few applications. I'd like to dive more into those applications. So you mentioned the manufacturing floor, you mentioned retail and Internet of Things type devices like your fish tank. So can you dive more into the applications of edge computing and what is actually running on there now, and the expectation of what's going to be running on there in the future?
Wow, in the future, a lot more. Right now, not as much, but there are quite a few out there, especially in certain industries. I attended an oil and gas automation conference. These exist. It was very good. AI, ML, data, and the edge were all a significant part of all of these sessions, because if you have someplace remote that you can't get to, of course, there's automation. But you also need to have more data, and you also have to have something that's more responsive, right? Can it reboot things remotely and actually take action? So these kind of applications are getting pushed closer to the devices and equipment that actually need the information to act on or to be told to act, because a lot of times these could be in the middle of the ocean. It takes you a few days to get there, I hear. So sending a person out, being on call for that is probably not your ideal job. Nobody told you that would be necessary. So those kind of applications are already in use at the edge. Of course, you see things like home automation, right? And even so, the difference between a Philips Hue light bulb can be connected to with my app, right? I can pick up my phone and I can control that light bulb. Now you have the bridges that can actually connect multiple lights and multiple rooms and start controlling them that way. And it can actually talk to the Philips cloud and be able to bring down special kinds of lighting configurations for holidays. So I don't have to do it myself.
So you would class that